And we are live. Good morning, South Florida, and hello, world. I am Robert Henderson Jr., President, founder, CEO of the Henderson Financial Group, located here in Miami Lakes, Florida. We're a full-service financial planning firm. We've been doing business for over 40 years. And joining me here is my brother from another mother, the famous, the legend, the world famous, my brother from another mother, Mr. James T. Thomas. James Thomas, you in the studio. How you doing, brother?
I can hear the applause, Rob. I mean, hey, I'm in South Florida for a change, and hey, man, it's good to be back for a brief time. But it's good to be more. It's greater to be with you. Greater to be with you. We did have we had a storm up here yesterday. Power went out and everything, only for about 20 minutes.
It was raining.
Yeah, a shower came through, and man, so when that happens, hey, you just be patient and wait for FPL to hook us back up. They did. We've had some problems with, of course, internet and Wi-Fi and all of that, but man, you know what? You know who we believe in, right? All things going to work together for the good. So, hey, glad to be here, man. How have you been? I understand you were at a conference this week.
Yeah, man. I was in Orlando. Next Thursday, I'll be in Arizona. Every January, top of the year, they have these financial planning workshops, and they talk about just the economy, forecasting, what's happening with the stock market, taxation, insurance, and it's really good. And I see a lot of the same old people because you have to get invited there. And last year, for the last 30 years, I've been getting invited. And it's really, you do learn a lot of stuff. They have software people there that can help you do your job better, and all kind of different calculators and now this year was really big with AI. What AI can help us help our job. So it was a learning experience. Every time I go there, I learn a whole lot that helped me throughout the year. That's why I go every January. It starts off in Orlando, and then it goes to Arizona, and then we off and running for the year. We just have to get what we need, tell exactly what's going on, the forecast, how things are shaping out, the inflation, the economy. And, we have people speaking, a lot of guest speakers, and then workshops. So it's really, really good. And I really, really like it. And really, like I said, it's helped me out a great deal. James, last week, man, we had a fantastic show. A young lady on there that was talking about the veterans benefits and how so many people did not understand or even know. I didn't even know what a DD 214. Yeah, I didn't know the DD 214 was. I've heard of that, man, but I got a lot of clients who are veterans, and they didn't know. And like you say, you didn't know a lot of the benefits that you guys would towards that you guys could use and did not know. And I liken that to just financial planning, financial services. When you're dealing with a real financial planner, they're doing MRI on you, not just investment. Financial planning is totally different than just investment planning, and it's different than retirement planning. Those are things that you just focus on. Retirement, if you're getting retirement, investment. But financial planning is the totality. It's like an MRI. You look at every aspect of a person's financial life. And that's whether it's insurance, whether it's wills and trust, estate planning, taxation. You look at everything, and that's what most people need rather than looking at one area, because we're a whole self, and you want to take care of your whole self, like your whole body. You don't want to just check on your knees or just check on your ankle. You want to check on your heart, your lungs, your back.
Complete physical.
That's what truly financial planning is. Today, and I wanted to talk about that last week, but she was so interesting. Oh my God. For those of y'all who missed last week's show, just go back. And we had a young lady. What was her name again, James?
She's Tina Schaefer.
Tina. Yeah. I kept calling her Miss Tina.
Yeah. Hey, oh man. Filled with information, brother. I mean, Rob, you have no idea. I had no idea the number of brothers and sisters out there who have served in the armed forces and thinking that, oh, I'm out. So now I've got to get a job. I've got to get health care. I've got to get this. I've got to get that. And not knowing the benefits that were waiting there for each of us, because we were willing to put our lives and our bodies and our family through sometimes 2 years plus, and particularly during wartime. I went in during the Vietnam War, as many other brothers around my age and older did, and they will come out. Man, I've got a personal story of a gentleman that I've been working and helping with for the past, I guess, month or so. I mean, I literally went into Tallahassee, picked him up, took him to the VA clinic. He became ill while we sat there as the doctor began to examine him, rushed him to Tallahassee Memorial, where they kept him for a few days, examining him, then getting him home care for only to prepare to take him to Gainesville, where he went there, and now he's in rehab. Man, I just thank God that his daughter, gave me a call, and we were able to help him. So I pray that he's in recovery now. And there are many brothers and sisters out there that are dealing with health issues and are veterans and never enrolled for veterans benefits.
And that's something. It's amazing how much you think you know and how much you don't know. Whatever you know that it's got to be more that you do not know, because nobody knows everything. So it's anytime you get some knowledge, it's like, a pebble on the beach. It's a lot of sand. It's a lot of pebbles out there, So that's what keeps me going. People ask me, Rob, what keeps you going and keeps you just thriving? Because I know that there's much more. And, my prayer is, God, help me to see and to be all that I could be, So when you say that, then there's good, better, best. You never let that rest until your good become your better and your better become your best. You should always be working on yourself. You should always be trying to get better. I don't care if you 10 years old or you're 110 years old. You always want to live a life of learning. You want to dedicate your life to learning, because that's when you continue to grow and you continue to live. When you stop, and there's something about the universe, something about our biological system. When we stop growing and learning, we like the system says, okay, he's ready to die. No more use for you. You know what I mean? So there's something in us, our spirit, man, that you should be wanting to get better, and you should be trying to find out, because I don't care who you are. There's always more to know. No man, no woman can do it on their own. We all need each other. I tell you, there is no such thing as a self-made millionaire. I grew up with humble means. I grew up without a father. My mom was a janitor, custodian, worked at the school, and two older sisters. And I the wealth that I've created, that I built, was not by me, because I didn't know nothing. I had to ask a whole lot of people. There's a whole lot of shoulders I'm standing on, James. I mean, and I'm gonna tell you something. I got information from all walks of life, all ethnic groups. I learned a lot from women. I gotta say, I learned a lot from women on the female side. You know what I mean? I learned a lot from women. You know what I mean? But then I learned a lot from men also. And that's how you want to have a balance. You really do. So anytime you see anybody think they know it all, then run. That's somebody who don't know nothing. Okay. Anytime you see somebody that say they know it all, and like I said, even now at the Henderson Financial Group, I rely on everybody in this office, and I rely on more people out of this office, people that y'all never even heard of, people that y'all don't even know. I talk to, weekly about stuff, So anyway, so today, I didn't get a chance to talk about it last week, but today I want to pick up where we left off, because we ran out of time, because we're talking to Miss Tina so much about veteran benefits. And I really encourage you all, whether you're a veteran or you know somebody a veteran, and you probably do, to go back and watch last week's show. I promise you, it's going to be enlightening. You're going to learn something that you didn't know. One of the key words in my Orlando that we talked about last week when I went to the financial planning conference, the word transformation. Think about that word, transformation. Transformation, transforming, learning something today that you did not know, and using that, what you learn, to build a better tomorrow. Isn't that something?
Be,
Transformation. What do you say, James? That scripture?
be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
Yeah. People just say that, but you gotta let that marinate. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson say, wait on it, wait on it, wait on it, let it sit for a minute. No, don't just go so fast. Transformation.
Transformation.
You know, every day, each and every one of us should be transforming. That means today we learned something that we did not know. And we're going to use that, what we learned, to change our lives for the next day,
Amen.
for tomorrow, for the future. And if you're not learning something every day to transform, to become become more informed, then your ship is sinking. Your plane is going down. That's why you should be excited. You cannot lean on the same knowledge and understanding that you had yesterday, because that is considered old news. And you need to be fired up, knowing something. So today, I want to go back, even though we talked about this subject, but I believe in this universal law called the law of repetition. There's a lot of laws out there that we don't know, man, that you guys don't know about. I'm not talking about the traffic laws or the government laws or the man laws. There's a lot of universal laws that I actually learned them and I used them. And they all are invisible, but it's a guide. And if you all know what I'm talking about, I want you all just to Google what are the universal laws. Boy, they tell you, law of compensation. That's money. What is the law? It's reaping and sowing. They got it's called a law of demonstration. You know what law of demonstration is? Talk. But if you can't demonstrate it, you don't know it. You don't understand it. The law of demonstration. Can you? That's like a man weighing 600 pounds saying he's a trainer. He's going to get you in shape. What is he demonstrating? You know what I mean? You got to be able to walk that walk, talk, if you're going to talk that talk. The law of demonstration. And the law of repetition, the law of repetition is such a profound law, and any and everybody can do it. Matter of fact, all of these laws, all of us can adhere to it, can adopt it, can use it. There's no law out there that says you too black or you too white or you too skinny or you too fat or you too old or you too young. No, it's you just have to be. And you can adhere to these laws that'll make your life better. So if you don't understand, you don't know what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm not talking about man-made laws, because man-made, those are not really laws. Like James and I always say, those are not really laws. They should be calling those rules. Because every time somebody get in the White House, they can change them rules.
The rules change. Laws don't change, Doc. Laws that came from the true governor and the government, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Hey, they don't change, and they apply to everybody, including those who think they're in power. Because I tell them all the time, Rob, you sow injustice, you must reap calamity.
Nobody can help you.
Yeah.
Can't call your mama.
It must have. I don't care.
Can't call your daddy.
Check out Proverbs.
No favoritisms, no backdoor, no deceitful, no cheating on the test.
Hey, man, that's why I don't worry about the people when they do what they do and call it a law. Ooh. And I know it's a rule. I just wait for them. I just wait and listen. I don't, Rob, I don't, what someone said, what you say don't mean anything, as you said earlier. What you do speak so loudly, I can't hear what you say. I'm just watching you.
That's right. You talking all that talk, but that's different from what you're doing.
I'm just watching you.
Yeah. It's not, children don't, they don't, hear what you're saying. They see what you're doing. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go back to that. And I just want to throw that nugget in, because that's something that we use a great deal. We use it a great deal, these universal laws, and it's like a guidance. Because I remember coming up, man, I ain't had no money, man. I didn't have 2 nickels to call it a dime, and I was trying to figure out how some people have and some people don't. Well, a lot of people who are prosperous, they work off invisible laws. And they do a lot of reading, because I used to hate to read when I was coming up. I mean, that's one thing. I think I didn't read Moby Dick until after I graduated high school. I just wanted to know, who was this Moby Dick? Not that it really mattered, but I wanted to just get on to it. I didn't like reading, but then as I started understanding, the more I read, it was really knowledge that I was gaining, understanding. That's what it was really I was gaining, and then my world brightened, my perspective brightened. And then my ideas increased, and I was able to see more, and then I was able to expand and grow and develop, and then prosper. You can't prosper before you get wisdom and understanding and develop and grow. You have to do that first, and that's something a lot of people they want to have more, but they don't have a cup to hold more. If you have a little knowledge, you can only get that much knowledge. That's all you know. If you got a little bit of money, that's because you have a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of understanding. If you want to get more money, that means you got to widen your consciousness, your cup. Your cup got to, what you understand has to expand. So now you can get more flow. You can get more. I tell you, it's magical. And it's a law. It ain't my law. I had to learn it. I had to say, what you're talking about, And that's what you have to get on that kick. If you really want to change your life, you have to get on a different type of plane. You can't be seeing and looking at the same level everybody else, because you'll be like everybody else. So you got to start looking from a different mind's eye. And I tell you, start by at least understanding what are universal laws. Now, universal laws is like me and James says, they're different from state and federal and county laws and the government law, because those are not really laws. If they really tell you the truth, those are rules. Rules can change. They change the rules in the NBA or NFL all the time. It depends on what state you are. The rules are different. They're different. You can be driving on I-95 or 75 or I-10, and all of a sudden you're doing 60 miles an hour, and you go another mile and they drop that thing down to 20 miles an hour. You're like, what just happened? Well, the rules change. Here comes Popo. Give you a ticket. Like, hey, the rules change. Not the law, but the rules, because they can change them. Depends on whoever get in office. Okay, so listen, we're going to talk about today what I want to pick back up. I want to pick up on what I was talking about last week, and that is understanding estate planning. That sounds like a big word, but let me tell you, this whole estate planning means that, when you leave this earth, if you have something, if you something of tangible, if you have something of assets, whether it's a car or a house or stocks or investments or whatever, then if all of a sudden you just fall out and give up the ghost and go to heaven, there's rules that says who's supposed to get your stuff. And that right there is a whole big game in itself, a money game, right, James?
Yes. Oh, no question, Rob. And most people don't even ask the question, how do I prepare?
Right. Most people don't ask the question. They don't even know they're supposed to ask the question. So now let me give you the basics. Most of our lives, they say that you need to have a will. You need to have a will. And some people say, a lot of people dead in heaven or in hell, wherever they are, and they didn't get a chance to do a will. And boy, they left some stuff back here on earth. Because a will is just a gathering of all the documentation. And you usually go to an attorney to draw it up. He charges you. And it's a documentation of all of your things and stuff that you want to leave and how you want to have it distributed when you're gone, when you left this body, when you're in wherever you want to go, whatever you believe. You transitioned. That's what a will is. And most of us, that's what we know about it. And if you don't have a will, it's called dying intestate. And a lot of people died because they didn't get a chance. They didn't know they were going to die. It happened instantly. They woke up dead. Now, if y'all don't believe me, y'all just Google how many people die in their sleep. You're gonna be absolutely flabbergasted. You're gonna be amazed. You know, you can go to AI and ask how many people die per year in their sleep. They laid down, they was fine, they watched the movie, and they woke up, they was dead. They was in heaven. They was in another galaxy. Wherever you would believe, that's where they were. And the people left here back on Earth turn around and see the body cold and say, oh my God, he didn't get the chance to sign the house over to me. Or he didn't get the chance to sign the car with me. Oh, he had stocks. Oh, he had crypto. And we don't even know the code. We don't know anything how to get the crypto. And he had a lot of it in there. And oh my God. Now, y'all don't believe it. What I'm telling you all is true. I'm just not no textbook. Just Google it. Just go to AI and say how many people die in their sleep and didn't get a chance to prepare a estate plan, a will, or a trust. All right. So anyway, so that's called intestate. So if you die and you didn't know you was gonna die, a Mack truck hit you or something, and you was in the process of doing something, but you didn't get a chance to do the documentation, it's called intestate. Now, that means the family member, whoever loves you, whoever knows, you have to come in there, your wife or somebody come knock on the door, and you're in there, you may been in there for a week or whatever, 2 days, I don't know. And then they got to look and say, okay, well, he has a house or he has a car and he has credit cards. We see some statements here and a lot of stuff online right now. And a lot of stuff people have in their computer, they have in their phone, passwords. And how you can't get to that. You lost, man. And then you had the guy Willie had some property, and it's just a mess. So then you got to call an attorney. And the attorney's like, another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And then once the attorney look in there and find out that, Willie had some stuff, had some money, their fees basically, they charge their fees basically on how much they could get. Now, you can't blame them now. You know. If old Willie had a pot to piss in, they might say, oh, you do this, do that, and charge us $800 or $1,200, and you get this estate. He only had an old raggedy car, or, he had a raggedy house or whatever the roof need. They're going to look at, because they got to assess how much they could get. Now, if he had some assets or whatever, and this stuff has to be transferred to loved ones, especially at family members, oh man, you guys are at the mercy, because you don't know nothing about this. So now you go to an attorney. He knows where the body's burned. In other words, he knows where the money is. He knows how to milk this cow. And none of y'all can't say nothing, because y'all need the attorney to tell y'all in order for y'all to get Uncle Willie's or Mr. Willie's or Daddy Willie's or Brother Willie's stuff. That's if you don't have nothing. So that now he has to put together a will, and then he has to take that to an unknown source, which is a judge. Wherever you live in the United States, he has to get on the judge's docket. You got to pay, and he has to take that and get on the judge's docket and get a court date. Now, if Uncle Willie had a house that had a mortgage, it's just going unpaid. Because remember, it's in the computer, or you all don't even know the account number, and you is nowhere in the world. It's called the HIPAA laws, those rules, that if somebody died, and just because you're a cousin, a friend, or even the pastor, the mortgage company ain't gonna tell you diddly. Because remember, it's a lot of fraud going on out here. So they don't know if you're the booger man, if you're really legit or not. So they ain't getting ready to tell you nothing until they see some court papers signed by a judge saying they could talk to you. Now, that is a mess. We could stop right here and let the church say amen.
Amen. Amen.
Oh, man. Y'all think y'all know everything? Oh, man.
The fight is on.
The fight is on. And let me tell you something. It is about money. It is about settling stuff and getting stuff together. But let me tell you something. Some dollars. If you want to play this game and trying to figure out the truth, some money going to be involved. If y'all ain't got no money, shame on y'all getting ready to get ripped off. Oh, even when I said that, I said, oh, man, that was, as soon as that came out of my mouth, I said, if you don't have no money and you don't know what's going on, you're getting ready to get ripped off. that just came out of so natural because it's so true. You know, ignorance causes people take advantage of you when you don't know nothing, especially if you old, blind, or young, or dumb. Oh my God, we ain't in heaven. We're on the earth, and it's dog eat dog. You think they're in business? Them attorneys. I ain't trying to talk bad about attorney, but this is the way the game play. This is the way the game is played. Now that's if you don't. So now you didn't have a will. So now you gotta go and he put a will together to you. And remember, think all wills, every will under the sun, every document that's called a will has to go through the court system. This court system is called probate. And I'm gonna tell you how to memorize this. It's kind of like, look, because I see a lot of stuff in pictures. I use a lot of metaphors and parables, okay? So I can see things. 1,000 words are worth a picture's worth 1,000 words to me. And I had to do this throughout my whole life to understand this stuff. I had to look at it and see if it makes sense. Okay, so look at this. This is how you can remember the effects of a will. Let's say this morning, James, we want to prepare some breakfast. And let's say we want to have some biscuits and, some eggs and you and I don't eat meat. So I guess we can have some salmon or some fish or something, or just some vegetables or whatever, right? But we want to have some biscuits. Now we go to the store because we don't have any biscuits in the refrigerator. So we go to the store and they got an assortment of biscuits. God knows they got all kind of different biscuits. Jesus, Lord, these so many kind of biscuits. Oh, blueberry biscuits, mango biscuits. We just want some biscuits, but you got all kind of biscuits. So you go get a biscuit, got to get the ones on sale, right? Do we get the one on sale? Or do we get the one that costs a lot, James? We get the one.
Let's splurge.
We gonna get the biscuits. Now, when we get those biscuits, we know those biscuits are what? Raw. So metaphorically, every will is like raw dough. We can't just we can't buy those biscuits and just pop them open and start eating them because it's raw dough. So when an attorney does a will for you, that's like raw dough. It ain't valid. It ain't nothing until it goes to the oven. The oven is called probate. So when an attorney does a will, when you all pay for say I want a will, you just got raw dough. It ain't done yet. It ain't the end. It has got to go through the oven. And the oven, in this case, is called probate, which means you got to go to a court to have a court session, which costs money, which now you got to get a judge. Here come the judge. Here come the judge. And you don't even know him. He don't know you. He don't care. You just another thing, another document on his schedule on his today. Because he really want to go play golf, but he got to do all this because here's another person that they only had a will. Now he has to go through this and he has to take his own personal judgment to say how he thinks the estate, the assets, the property should be divided among the family. Now that ain't even it. Because what if you got some fools in the family? Oh boy. Oh man, you got one of them in jail. Oh, he got it right. What'd you say, James?
Had a case like that, Rob, where doing a purchase of a property, and one of the family members, happened to be incarcerated. So now you got to go through that, and you must please him while he's there. If the rest of the family wants to sell the property.
Yeah, he ain't in jail because he's so wise either, right? So
yeah,
so that tells you right there.
My friend says the problem with smart people is they think they're smart. They don't.
Yeah.
They just
he ain't in jail
think they're smart.
He ain't in jail because he's so reasonable, right?
He thought he was smart.
He thought he was smart. So now you got to deal with him, and he like, oh man, Uncle Willie, I'm gonna get rich. Whatever y'all said, I want more. You know what I mean? I need more. It's gonna be settling with him gonna be a task. All right. So my point is what I'm trying to make here. I'm telling like a story so you understand. Every will is like raw dough. It's not, you could go to an attorney and tell attorney, I want this house to go to Susie, and I want my car to go to my boyfriend Janie, and I want my stocks, or I want, this assets, other rental property to go to my high school teacher. You can write all that you want to. An attorney gonna put it right down there. He gonna type it in there and put it and sign off on it. That's raw dough. It ain't over yet, and you can go on and die, but it ain't over. You don't get the last say. You know, die, but it ain't the final.
R.I.P. Rest in peace.
It ain't the final, because now it's raw dough. It's biscuits. It's got to go where? To the oven. We call it the oven probate. So now here come the judge. He look at that and he go, okay, I see you want he wrote down. I don't know if he was drunk or whatever, because now you got 3 kids. Matter of fact, you got 5 kids.
Lord have mercy.
And all of them got 5 different personalities, and one of them in jail. Isn't that something? And you had a nerve to write on your will and say you wanted one of the properties to go to your friend. And then you said so the judge look at this and say, no, I ain't doing that, because you got 5 kids, and one of them said that you promised the house to him, and he done went and got him a lawyer, good Jewish lawyer.
You on a roll today? Okay, go ahead.
You went and got one, boy. You know he ready to get paid, right? And then you got another one. He went and got him a brother, a black lawyer. Right? So he got all these people. So then y'all got y'all lawyers because y'all want to get some of this. Oh, it's a mess. And then y'all fighting, 5 of y'all fighting. Oh, y'all don't get along because y'all got different personalities and get different personalities. Then you got one in jail. Oh, Lord, you know what he think? He trying to come up. He wanted. So now the judge. So now I'm gonna tell you something. Those are real cases, and those drag on. And I'm gonna tell you what. You know when they drag on, guess who get paid?
The
lawyer, the attorneys. Matter of fact, they get together and go have lunch. It's a business, man. It's a business, and y'all arguing over. The longer it take, the more fees, the more costs. That's what a will is. That's what a will is. That's so you can go get a. So when people tell you go to a lawyer and they say go get a will, they setting you up, man. They setting you up for a fall. It's money, man. It's something better than that. So what's the difference between a will and a trust?
Ooh.
Now I used to think when you get a trust, you had to have a lot of money. You had to have rich people get trust. No, that's nothing could be further from the truth. You could have one house, and you don't want to go through probate, and you're a single person. Because if you're not single now, let's back up. If you die and you're married and you like your spouse and you intend anyway that when you make your transition, you want everything to go to your spouse, then all this, what I'm saying, could be mute if you like your spouse. Now, if you don't really like your spouse, because I have some clients, man, they come to my office smiling. They even ride in together, and they've been married 40 years. They ride in the same car. They've been married 40 years. They come in the office looking at me smiling, and she ain't nowhere on his beneficiary list, and he ain't nowhere on her beneficiary list. And they get together and they smile and everything. So I had to put together 2 individual living trusts, and they go to church. Now they go back home. Y'all think he's sleeping in the same bedroom, but they not. They've been together 41 years. He over there in his bed, he over there. But that ain't my business. That's the way people live, and a lot of people like it like that. Matter of fact, back in the olden days, a lot of the wealthy people used to sleep like that. The wife used to have her bed over there, and the husband used to have them. They want to do something, then they come together. Other than that, they got their space. You ever see that, James?
Right.
No, that's real stuff.
They don't come to me with that, Rob. They come to you with that.
Yeah. No, but I see it all. Lord Jesus, I've been doing this 40 years. Y'all know
you've seen it all. You've seen it all.
That's why I don't pass judgment. That's why I really love my job, because this is better than HBO.
That's probably how they stayed together 41 years, Rob, because it's Rob.
Oh yeah, that is how they stayed 41 years. Because she say he snore and she can't sleep like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that,
You know, I mean, she says she's no. I've been listen. Sometimes I've started.
Rob, stay on.
All right. Okay. Okay. So let's get back to the story. All right. So the judge comes in, and the judge does what the judge wants, because the judge says 5 kids. And even though Uncle Willie died, Daddy Willie died, and he said who he wanted to stuff, that was a will. A will don't have no final say. A will, no. They don't think about you. You dead. What you gonna do? Come back and get mad? No. The judge decides based on his upbringing, based on his viewpoint or her viewpoint, based on how they feel, the sum total of them and their education, what they think. You know, hell, you got 3 girls and 2 boys. That could happen in her family. So she might have a grudge, whatever. So she might say, hey, split all the assets in 5 ways, including the dude that's in jail. And stamp it. And that's the final say. And y'all got to sell assets. One of the daughters was staying in the house. He don't care nothing about that. If y'all want her to stay in the house because she ain't got nowhere to go, we're going to give her a year to stay in the house, and she got to sell the house and split that house 5 ways. That's what the judge say. And that's final. Who you going to call? Who you going to call? Who? And the lawyer said, that's what the judge say. Here come the judge. And you like, ain't that a mother? But you can't do nothing about it. That's the way it is. That is what a will does. And listen, let's back it up. Before you died, you went and got that will. And this was if somebody died without nothing, because then you got to put together a will, attorney, and then go present it to the trust. But let's say some of y'all who's so smart, y'all go buy, y'all still alive, and y'all go walk down there and get a will. Now, a lot of attorneys encourage you to get a will first. You know why? What do you think? Why you think soon as you come in and you say, hey, I want to, and most time people go down there because they don't know the difference what I'm talking about. You go down there to an attorney and say, I'm ready to do my estate plan. I need a will. And that he ain't getting ready to say, no. You need something better than a will. He ain't getting ready to say that. Why, Robert? Why would he say that? He gonna make less money if he say, no, you need something better than a will. Why won't he tell the truth? Because this ain't heaven. We ain't in heaven. We on earth. And earth is a business, especially the United States. What love got to do with it? You got no money. I don't love you no more. What you was an athlete, you was making touchdowns, scoring baskets, you hurt. Next. I mean, it's business. So if you go to an attorney and you tell him you need a will, he's like, oh yeah, I got this sucker. Because he knows once he do a will for you and draw it up, he knows, and he puts his staple, his card on that will. He knows that when you make your transition, the family got to come back to him and he'll get paid again. Now, all that he really had to say, listen, let me explain to you the difference between a will and a trust. If I do this trust and you put whoever you want to leave your stuff to, it don't go through probate. It's like going to the grocery store and buying some already cooked biscuits. You ain't got to put them in the oven. You ain't got to see no judge. It is what it is. They ready to eat. They brown and served. That's what you want. Now, some of y'all done ran downtown in a high rise on the 30th floor. They done charge you $10,000. One guy told me, I told him to get a living trust, and he went down there, they charged him $20,000 for a living trust. I said, you done bumped your head. They put it in a gold leaf binder too. And I said, man, you paying for that? You paying for downtown Brickell Avenue on the 30th floor. You paying for the rent. You ain't need all that. Yeah, I didn't know, Mr. Henderson. They had a big old name.
Good.
He wrote a big old check too. Okay. So I really need y'all to get this, man, because this is happening to millions and millions and millions and millions of people. And the thing is that nobody know the time of the hour. That's why you got to be ready. You need to prepare. You ain't got to die now, but you need to understand how the game of life is played. Because you got stuff, and somebody wants your stuff. Whether you're dead or alive, you got to protect your stuff. I'm telling you, somebody wants your stuff. You might not want it, but somebody wants it. So when you go to the attorney, all he had to do is tell you, if you get a living trust, you can leave it to your alma mater and no kids. You can leave it to 2 of your girlfriends and 1 of your boyfriends, and you can have 4 kids, 5 kids, and they don't get nothing because they don't go before a judge. This living trust is etched in stone. If your name ain't on there, you ain't getting dilly. And who you gonna call? You can't call no attorney because it ain't nowhere. It ain't recorded. See, all wills are recorded in public records downtown in a municipality where you live. So anyone can go and pull up your documentation because it's public records. I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to think about that for a second. So a lot of the wealthy people, the so-called small people, they say, listen, we don't want to have nothing that's transparent to the rest of the world. We don't want no judge who we don't know to tell us how, when we pass, how our things and our stuff going to be distributed. We want full control and full power. So how do we keep power, whether we dead or alive? How do we still have power when we dead? Well, you got to have a trust. And that trust says, nobody eyes sees this stuff but who you want to see it. You don't go through court. When you whatever you have, you want to leave it. Your car going to Homer, your house going to this person, your other property going to this person. And then inside of the trust, they have something that's called a dual power of attorney. That means that you didn't die. You didn't die. You almost did, but you're incapacitated. So now that's documentation that you have just in case you cannot perform your duties and do what you need to do. You got somebody second in control. You have somebody second in control that can actually perform your duties of what you want to do. Pay the mortgage, pay your light bills, go inside the bank account. That's for financial. And then inside the living trust, there's something called a healthcare directive. You know what that is? A healthcare directive is something that says, if I die, I don't want them to put me on all this life support stuff and run up that hospital bill. I don't want them keeping me on the coma for 6 months. I don't want them hooking me all up, or I don't want them to give me no nasty blood. I don't want no blood. I'm a Jehovah's Witness, so I don't want, I'm saying a healthcare directive says, okay, and it also says, then you have something that says, I don't want to be cremated. I want to have a Luther Vandross going home celebration. You know what I mean? That's all inside the trust. It really is. I mean, you can actually design it. Like Islam says, she work at a hospital. It's advanced directive. And we call it healthcare directive. Same thing. And it says, what you want. Do you want life support or you don't want life support? Do you want this or that? Don't do this. And then you get on, and then you get down to final resting. How do you want to? You want to have cremation? I want to have my cremated and have my ashes scattered over Tahiti. You know what I mean? Or Hawaii. You say that because then see when you do this, that means you in full control. Or some people just say, hey, leave it up to my spouse or leave it up to my second in control, my living trust. That's the difference between a will and a trust. I hope y'all picking this up, what I'm putting down. And I'm not trying to talk over your head. I'm talking and giving to you in story form so you can relate to this story. And you can relate to the way I'm saying it so you can, you can picture it in your mind's eye. And you also, since we on YouTube, this is on YouTube and it's on Facebook, you can always go back. You need to share this stuff, man. Don't keep this stuff. You need to share this stuff because somebody gonna get hurt. And air's getting hurt every day. I told you to Google how many people wake up dead. You're gonna be absolutely flabbergasted. So then between a will and a trust. Now, people ask me, Robert, what is an irrevocable trust? And what is a revocable trust? Okay, since we're talking about trust right now, there's over 100 different trusts. They got children trust, they got eyelid trust, they got dynasty trust, they got land trust, they got business trust, they got charitable trust, they got charitable remainder trust, they got Q-trip trust. I can go on 100 talking about different kind of trust. But trust, know one thing about a trust. It's ironclad, it's locked, it's private. It's like having a safe house, it's like having an armored car, armored truck. That's what a trust is. Okay. So now, what's the difference between a revocable and an irrevocable? When let's say you are single or you're married and you have kids or your wife have kids and it's a second marriage and you all did a joint trust, or you could do an individual trust. When you see at the Henderson Financial Group, we aligned ourselves with some attorneys who wasn't going to charge you $20,000 and $10,000 and $5,000 and $3,000, and $2,500. We found a law firm that will put together all this stuff for you, and they do it within an hour or 2 hours, depends on you, and it's $1,400, and it comes with everything. And then I can send you a link, and then I can help you, and we can discuss if you need some guidance, or you could do it yourself. But I have that link. And it's really, really, really good because you can have all kind of properties. It comes with quick claim deed. Quick claim mean you can take the property out of your name and put it into the name of the trust. A lot of people walking around here talking about they got to live in trust, but it's not funded. What they mean by that, they went to an attorney and he just created a living trust, but he ain't put nothing in it. And if you drop dead, you might as well didn't have no living trust. That's like having a closet with no clothes in it. If you're gonna have a closet, at least put some clothes inside of it. You know what I mean? So if you're gonna have some trust, you got to transfer your assets to the trust. So there's a lot of attorneys that when you say I want to live in trust, they just give you the documentation, but they don't fund it. They don't transfer the property assets into the trust. And then when they tell you they're gonna do that, that's another expense. So you got to beware, buyers beware. All you got to do is really call the Henderson Financial Group, 305-825-1444. And I'm going to educate you and break it down to you like a 6-year-old. You should be doing this. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about end of life, estate planning, wills, or trusts, but they think they're not going to die. But none of us
Wait, Rob. They think they're not.
No, most people don't think that. They think that's somebody else.
Okay.
You Google that too.
Okay.
They say it, but they really don't believe it. It's like we say Santa Claus put the Christmas stuff and all that. We know ain't no rain deals. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We know that, but we still go through it. So
isn't that something? Isn't that something, Rob? Isn't that something?
That's why they don't prepare for it. Because they're like, oh, I know I'm gonna die. That's like saying, well, I know Santa Claus, Christmas time coming, but it ain't gonna really happen to me. I mean, you already know it ain't no Santa Claus. We ain't got no chimney in South Florida. You know that, right? People say it, but they really don't believe it because if they believe it, they're prepared for it. It's like a lot of those preachers be talking about what God said and what Jeremiah said, but they preach the Bible, they know the Bible, but they really don't believe it. It's like Santa Claus, like Christmas. They say all this, but they really don't, because you can tell the law of demonstration. You got to demonstrate. You got to live the life. I mean, you got some preachers out here, man. They got 5 girlfriends and talking about, hey, God said you should not commit adultery.
It's a new year. Hey, Rob. Helen just asked, how do you update a trust if you want to change?
Oh, it's called an addendum. It's called an addendum. It's simple. You could either go to the attorney to update it. He may charge you $75 to update it and add it, or you could do it yourself and just get it notarized. You can say, I want to change this. This is an addendum to my trust. Get it notarized with 2 witnesses and attach it to your trust and have it dated. You could do that. That's the poor man's way to do it. But it's legal, okay?
But it's legal. Okay, good enough. And I, I see Mr. Dr. Malone says good morning. To sum it up, good topic. Uh, I will not snore, but for the family to benefit. Hey, get a sleep apnea, I guess, machine. Yeah. But Rob, see, on the serious note, what we must do, and again, because we never know what illness may occur, we never know the time nor the date.
Or the hour.
So, or the hour. So prolonging this and saying, I'm going to get it. My study today was talking about being disciplined. I look forward every day to do something, to learn something, and to bless. You know,
Transformation.
oh, hey Rob, come on, because we know a law that says, "Given it shall be given back to you." So the opportunity of giving, so that you can be blessed, and this can be a blessing, as you said earlier, not just to us individually, but it also blesses the families. I mean, if, like I said, there's got to be somebody, if you don't even love yourself, there's got to be someone that you care about, a grandchild or a daughter or son. There's got to be somebody that you would say, hey, just in case, I'd love to be a blessing to someone. So I'm going to get my house in order, because age it's not an age thing anymore. You can't say that. Wow, I saw something where a young lady said, "Well, my mother died at 62, so now that I've got my grandkids, I want to get myself together because I just turned 62." Okay, Rob, that kind of thinking. So now you're going to speak that you don't desire. You're going to think that you don't desire. Why can't you say, whoa, I can enjoy my grandkids for the next 20 years, but I'm still going to prepare to be prepared for that may or may not happen. And that care thing is very, very, very important. Very important to have someone that would be prepared to care for you. And not just, and you may have you can do a backup as well, right? You don't just have
Oh
to
yeah,
have
yeah,
one
yeah.
person.
You could do 2, 3, 4,
Yeah,
5 backups in
right,
case
right,
that
right.
person go
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
In case y'all all on the ship together, you got to have a 4th or 5th backup. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And that's why coming to the Henderson Financial Group, you'll get the information that will bring about thoughts that you may not have thought of, and showing you how you can do that. And it has to me, it has to bring about a peace, where you can enjoy life. I mean, I truly do believe, even though you say we're not in heaven, Rob, I'm in heaven. Hey, the purpose for my being, the purpose for our being here was to, hey, understand that kingdom culture and distribute it as much as we can on this earth. So, hey, listen up, folks. Pass it on. And protect yourself, because again, going back to the story that I aired earlier, Rob, in this session, there was one young lady that was caring for her father-in-law. She really cared. And that was the only person I worked with. Now, he has sons, the gentleman, but the one that called for help was his daughter-in-law, and boom, fortunately, I was in the position, to help them out. So think about that, because we never know when illness will come upon us, and somebody has to care for us if we care about ourselves and what we can do for others.
That's true. That's true. You absolutely let church say amen. Now, before we go, I want to tell you guys the difference between a revocable trust and an irrevocable trust. And I want you to remember it, because IRR, the revocable trust is reversible. You can reverse it. You can reverse that's how I want you all to remember it. A revocable mean you can revoke it, you can reverse it. In other words, you're trying to go to Georgia and you're in Miami and you start driving south. you going toward Key West. You could put that baby in reverse. So you could revoke that. You could change it and start going north so you can go to Georgia because Georgia is north of Florida. You follow me? So a revocable means that you can change your mind. You could say, I want this property, this land to go to my son, but my son married the wrong person. And I don't want this to go to my son because then if my son get a divorce, then that person who don't even speak to me gonna get half of stuff that I produce. So I think I want to change that because he married wrong. When he get rid of her, then then I'll do. So you could reverse that. So it's called a revocable trust. Anything you put in there, you still have power while you're alive. So if somebody make you mad or things change, you could change it. That's called a revocable. That's a lot of power, and you want to have power because you now if all of a sudden you do a revocable trust, but you wake up dead. Oops, you ain't have time to change. Now your son may go marry the wrong person. It's too late now because you can't come back through the ether and change it. So, but to have something that you can revoke and change and go in a different way, in a different direction, that's the most common, a revocable trust. So why would somebody ever have a ear mean IRR, irrevocable mean that whatever you put in the trust is etched in stone, you can't change your mind. Why would somebody do that? Well, a lot of wealthy people do that because they want to put some stuff in something that they can't change. But still, Robert, why would anybody want to lose control? Because it's a financial strategy. And I'm gonna give you a hint because we're out of time, but I'm gonna give you a hint. Let's say, which this happens a lot of wealthy people, they believe in this strategy called own nothing.
Control
everything.
Everything.
Now, why would somebody want to own something? Some people believe we don't own nothing. We just borrowing it. We just using it. We don't own nothing. That house you got, if it ain't brand new, you bought a used house. That was somebody years ago that had the house and had the house and had the house, somebody else. We don't really own them. We just here on borrowed time. So we don't really own nothing. You know what I mean? So, and if you don't own nothing legally, you don't have nothing. Legally, you can qualify for a whole lot of government benefits, can't you? You could be a multi-millionaire and not have nothing in your name. Matter of fact, like Elon Musk, they say he got a $50,000 house. His mom said when she come there, she got to sleep in the garage. The richest man in the world. He don't own no $20 million house, no $100 million house. Man worth over $400 billion. That's what it be. But he don't have no mortgage. In other words, you got a $50,000 house. Where you find that shack? But the man the richest. So think about it. It's the mindset. So a lot of wealthy people say they don't want to own nothing because if you sue them, you can get all the lawyers you want to, but they could go and empty their pockets. You can look in the bank account. They ain't got nothing. Matter of fact, they qualify for food stamps. They do. Because legally, they don't own nothing. Now, a lot of drug dealers coming up when they ain't know nothing about these trusts and stuff. They just put in their mama name, girlfriend name, friend name, and all that. And police come and just threaten all them, and they tell anyway. So that's not a good strategy. But there's a strategy called putting it in the irrevocable trust. It's kind of like, and I want you to get this because maybe it didn't hit home for you guys a lot. So let's just say, Henderson, I want to take everything that I own and I want to give it away. I ain't giving it to United Way. Because I don't know them. I mean, it's a good cause, but I ain't giving it to them. I need to have some kind of strings attached, but it ain't gonna be my name. So I'm gonna give all my stuff away. Now I give all my stuff away. I'm like a poor man. But y'all see me driving in the car because I gave all my stuff to a trust. I legally, it's not titled in my name. I don't own it anymore. I could go to the courts and swear. I can go to the church and swear on a stack of Bibles that I don't personally own nothing because it ain't in my name. it's in the name of Robert Henderson Jr. Trust, irrevocable trust, meaning that if someone sue me, I can't go get out of the trust because it ain't mine no more. I gave it to a trust. And then somebody got to run the assets. Somebody got to manage the property and real estate that I have and the investment. Somebody, since I done gave it away, who did I give it away to? Well, I gave it to a trust. So nobody owned it, but somebody got to be the trustee. Somebody got to pay the mortgage, and somebody got to do the business for all this stuff that I have accumulated over these years. So then I named somebody to be the trustee, but it ain't me. So you can sue me all you want to. I gave my stuff away. Do you know that's a legal strategy? That's called an irrevocable trust. And now the trust, if I want to go to New York to see a play, I mean, it could provide the plane ticket, and I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't pay for it. You know, it's kind of like how the trustees of the church and the trustees, you know, they buy the pastor a Rolls Royce. Rolls Royce said the church bought this, or they bought the pastor a plane. You know, pastor said, don't blame me. The trust, I bought a plane. I use it. It's all kind of strategies, man, that you guys you can't even think of, you know. But if a lot of wealthy people do that to prevent lawsuits. Own nothing but control everything. That's just a strategy. That's just one. Like I said, it's 100. Here's another trust called a land trust. Let's say you got property, and they could just go and look under your name and find out all the property that you own under your name. It's a trust called a land trust. That means you take it out of your name, and you can come up with the name of this trust going to be Anime Trust. So now, when people look up, they'll see Anime Trust. Who in the hell is Anime? It ain't Robert Henderson. How they gonna find you? Who? And then the mail ain't got to come to you. You can go to a P.O. box, or hell, you can have the mail go to another corporation. You can have layers and layers and layers. They usually have some offshore even. They can have something. And how you gonna find me? How you gonna find it's me? It's all kind of trust. And then they have something that's called, which a lot of y'all, I don't have a Instagram, but all that Instagram stuff, I'm not really into social media because I don't want nobody from the second grade calling me saying I need to borrow some money. You know what I mean? So I listen, if you want to find me, you call the Henderson Financial Group so we can talk some business and build a relationship. But all that other stuff, high school and all that, and I don't have a girlfriend. I have one wife. I'm not interested because y'all gonna tell anyway. So all the girlfriends and wannabes number 2, all that, then you gonna tell. And I got too much to lose. So I don't even go there. I don't care how beautiful you are, unless you're a billionaire, and then now they may say, okay.
Get approved. You gonna get approval.
You're a billionaire. So it's business.
Okay, Rob. Give that phone number, invite them to call.
Okay, all right. So then there's something called a life insurance trust, which a lot of people use, and that's called an eyelid. Now that's an irrevocable life insurance, and that's because you put life insurance, you take it out of your name, and you really don't have to deal with an irrevocable life insurance unless your estate value is at least $15 million, especially now. Now they, if you die and all your stuff, your net worth is 15 million, then your wife net worth 15 million, that's 30 million. That's the only time you may need a irrevocable life insurance trust. That's really the only time you may probably need it. But a lot of people here on Instagram, they want to get an eyelid, they want to do all this, and then so really a lot of the tools you hear about all these fancy tools, but you don't really need them. You need to find out, and then people will sell you something that you don't need,
all the time.
All the time. Most people got the wrong stuff and doing the wrong stuff.
No, they just got stuff, Rob.
They got stuff. Too much stuff.
They just got
stuff. But if you want to get all your financial stuff together, Call 305-825-1444. That's the Henderson Financial Group. You can go on our website and get an appointment also. That's www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. www.thehendersonfinancialgroup.com. And they got the business trust. Now, one I like is called this charitable remainder trust, where you can actually donate some property to a charity and take a tax deduction now, but the charity don't actually get the property until you die. That's some good stuff. You know what I mean? But you can actually get the tax deduction now, but they don't get the stuff until you die. It's so many different strategies in terms of estate planning, but the basics are understanding what's different between a will and a trust and a living trust. And if you want more information, which all of us should, you should call 305-825-1444, and I'll help you gather it confidentially, okay? Everything that we talk about is confidential, but I want you to share this with someone else, okay? I hope you all learned something today. Remember I told you the word. Let's dedicate 2026 with the word called transformation. You have to transform. Transformation is learning something that you did not know and using it to help you tomorrow to be a better person, to improve, transform. Are you transform every day? You should have a moment of transformation. Otherwise, you ain't learning nothing. And this is about addition and subtraction. The math got to be math, and you want to go up, not down. James, we need prayer, bro, don't we?
Hey, my prayer today comes again from my brother John, and we're praying for him and his health. But he says, join me in praying. Lord, thank you for reminding us that your grace is all we need. Your power works best in our weakness. Help us to rely on you completely and boast in our struggles. Boast in our struggle. Okay, knowing your strength sustains us. And I'm going to add that all things work together for good. Teach us to trust your plan and live in your grace every day, he says. And the scripture that he comes from is 2 Corinthians 12:9. It says, each time he said, my grace is all you need. My power works best in weakness. Ooh, Rob, he didn't keep them from the fire. He kept them in the fire. He didn't keep them from the lion's den. He kept them in the lion's den. So now I am glad to boast about my weakness so that the power of Christ can work through me. May God bless you, your family. And of course, I know everybody's talking about a new year, but every day starts a new year for many of us. So thank you, Lord, for this new day and this new year. In Jesus' name, amen.
Let the church say amen. Boy, amen. Go Canes. Man, you see that game last night? Woo,
night before last. Yeah. Last night it was Oregon and Indiana. Oh my Lord, 56 to something. I don't even know what the final score of that was. So it's going to be the Canes, and it's going to be quote unquote, hey, Indiana should be a great, great game. Oh, that reminds me. Shouts out to Coco, Delray's own Coco Gauff.
The tennis player.
She's doing well. And man, blessings to she and her family, man. Great people. I've known the family, members of the family for a long time, but it's a blessing to see our young people going out and doing some wonderful things. And they've been doing some great things in Delray Beach. So to the Gauff family, the father and the mother and two sons and the daughter, we're very proud of them and proud of what they're doing.
Yeah, the church say amen. Remember, amen. If you need financial planning, call 305-825-1444. We'd love to serve you because that's what we was put on this planet to do is to serve you. So take advantage of it. You got to ask, seek, and knock. And I promise you the door will be open. Much love, James T. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hello, world. Be safe out there, everyone. Take care and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Peace, love, and So
You taking them back, Rob.